to be telling y'all how to get a natural looking frontal, how to achieve it, how to maintain it, etc, etc. I might do how to maintain your lace frontal wig, etc in a different video, because I feel like you gotta do like, you know, a little bit more, so that might need its own, like, you know, little video, whatever. But I'm gonna just tell y'all some tips. Now these are my tips. Some people may agree, some people may not agree, some people may have more, some people might learn something, I don't know, but these are my tips that I chose to share with y'all, so hopefully everything works out for y'all. Before I get into the tips, I do want to tell y'all about the hair that I'm wearing right now. If you didn't already watch the video I posted probably before this, don't quote me on that, but I have in Nadula Hair. I have in 3 26-inch bundles with a 20-inch closure. I constructed this wig by myself. I customized it by myself, as you can see in the video. I use lace tint. The reason why it looks so natural and blended and just okay is because I use True Match Lace Conceal. Oh, I said that right. True Match Lace Conceal in the shade tan. I used to use the shade bronze, but for some reason I feel like it was a little bit off for me. I don't know if my skin is like changing colors. You know how the whole winter summer thing goes, whatever. I don't know, but I feel like tan works best for me right now, so that's what I'm working with. I have to write a list because I will talk to y'all all day, get off topic, and just be whatever. So I wanted the video to be straightforward and to the point. So I wrote down 10 tips that's most important to me on my phone for you guys to have a natural frontal. So let's go. Alright, so number one, first of all, you have to make sure you have the proper quality to have a good lace melt down. Now, let me tell you something. If you buy a lace frontal from the hair store, now I'm not saying all lace frontals from the hair store is bad, because I have not tried not one of them, so I don't know. But if you have a French lace, which is mostly what they use on the hair store wigs and stuff like that, which is it's a very thick material. It's not thick to where you could like, it's like, oh my god, it's thick, but it's not easy to blend into the skin because it has like, it barely has any stretch. I've seen it in the store and everything. I've touched it and everything, so this is just what I witnessed. Very thick, you know, it doesn't blend. If you cut it, ain't no, oh yeah, maybe I could put makeup. No, it's on its own level. Like, it's not even gonna blend. It's like sitting a piece of plastic on your head. Like, you just sit it and you can't melt that. Like, obviously it's plastic, but I'm just saying, as far as like leverage or whatever the case may be, it's not gonna melt. And being that it has no stretch to it, you have nothing to work with. So wherever it sits is wherever it's gonna show. So that's definitely tip number one. The best lace out there really is Swiss lace, HD lace, and film lace. Now I know I have to do more homework on the HD and film lace because I'm pretty sure they're two different laces, but you know, a lot of people have marketing strategies, so they change the name to make you think it's something else when it's really not. So I gotta get into, you know, all that, so I might have to do some research on that. But the main lace that I use is Swiss lace, and I would recommend transparent Swiss lace. They have light brown, medium brown, dark brown. Here's the problem with that. First of all, just because you think you're light brown, or just because you think you're dark brown, or whatever the case may be, doesn't mean that it's your proper shade. It may have an undertone of this color that throws it off. It may be a little bit too light, too dark, too red, too orangey, brassy, whatever. It may have a lot of undertones that don't match your skin. I had one light brown lace, I think one or two light brown lace from my hair company, and it did work out for me, but I still put some concealer on it even more because you can never be too sure. But I would just recommend you to get, I would recommend transparent lace, because at the end of the day, you can buy lace tint or use your own foundation. I would not recommend liquid. I don't care what y'all say. I don't recommend liquid foundation. I would recommend powder or cream. So I would recommend you to use concealer, the concealer that matches your skin tone, or maybe a cream foundation. I'm pretty sure they have that somewhere, I don't know. And powder works too. It helps give like a blurry illusion depending on like how you apply it and stuff like that. All depends. But I actually really like I like tinting my lace with liquid and then you dry it and everything like that. I just feel like, I don't know, I feel like they put more formula and more like undertone. They take care of the undertones, cancel this out, cancel that out. I feel like they do a lot of like testing and everything like that to make sure it matches flesh tones, and that's why I chose this one. I used to use I think I had one by Tailored Crowns, was it? I think, I'm not sure, and they don't really work out for me that well. I don't know if I wasn't using it right, I don't know. But right now this is my favorite. So if you feel like you're my skin tone, I would try to match lace conceal in the shade tan, because look, this is amazing. Okay, period. Like, y'all can say what y'all want, but I did that with this one. So that's all that. Number 2, I basically just said choose your perfect color for your lace tint, whether it's the liquid lace tint or whether it's concealer, because at the end of the day, if it's too light or too dark, or sometimes you might want to use, I saw somebody do this method on YouTube where they used a darker cap and then used their same skin tone lace tint and stuff like that, and it actually worked out. Because, you know, sometimes if you have a stocking cap on under and then you put your lace tint or your concealer on over, sometimes it would still look a little white. So it's like you gotta play around with it. Like, it's give and take, but just make sure that your lace tint, your concealer, your whatever matches your skin perfectly. We don't want our scalp to look extremely lighter or so dark that we can't even like really part it. Like, you gotta really make sure you're particular with the lace tint and the concealer for your frontal or closure, whatever you prefer to, you know, wear. Number 3 is proper plucking. Plucking will literally make or break your wig install. I cannot stress this enough. And I see so many people who over pluck to where it looks bald, and it's just like, okay, why is your hairline starting back here? Somebody explain. I don't know what's going on, but it's not supposed to be back here. But then some of y'all don't barely pluck, and y'all just have it like up here, and then y'all just swoop the baby hairs or something like that and try to cover it. We can see that, and then it looks like baby hairs, mad hair, thick density. Like, it just looks crazy. Like, why is it mad thick right here with baby hairs? We not the goal of having a lace frontal, sewing, wig, closure, anything, the point is for it to look natural. Y'all know how everybody talk shit about, oh, we can tell that's a wig, oh, blah, blah, you know, men, oh, y'all wigs, y'all need it, blah, all that stuff. The main key is for it to look natural. We're not trying to, nothing but it's the illusion. So if you really work it and really work your magic and pluck it the correct way, you're going to get great results. Now, here's the thing. Now, I did a detailed video on how to pluck, so you guys can check that out if you want. I'll link it down below in case any of you guys want to watch it, get some tips. There's a whole bunch of videos on how to pluck lace frontals on YouTube. Please, I don't want to hear nothing from y'all. There's no excuses. It takes time. It does. It's a little time consuming, but the results are very much worth it. So I would definitely recommend proper plucking. And just because a company says that a wig is pre-plucked, that doesn't mean anything, because sometimes it doesn't have a gradient effect. It's just, how can I put it? It's like thin density, thick density. It's supposed to be like a gradient effect. You're not supposed to see right exactly where the wig, where they like wefted it, or I said wefted it, wherever they put the little hairs or whatever the case may be for the knots. Like, you don't want to be able to see that. So sometimes I be saying so much sometimes, and I don't even be knowing what I'm saying. And then after the video, I'm like, fuck, I should have said but whatever. Anyways, number 4 is you have to have a good lace cutting technique. Now, let me tell y'all my experience with this. Most of us who customize wigs and everything like that, we do the zigzag method to where you can't really clock the hairline, but that kind of works sometimes and it doesn't, and let me tell y'all why. Because first of all, some people cut big zigzags and some people cut the smaller ones that you can't really detect. If you cut big zigzags, you really think you're not going to see that? Like, you know, you really got to take your time. It's nothing to rush, but the more skilled and the more you practice and everything like that, you'll get it down pat. It's really not hard. Now, I'm not going to lie to y'all, one cutting technique that I've been trying to master that I see Arrogant Tay do, because y'all know he's probably my favorite hairstylist, okay? He does he cuts with a sharp eyebrow cutter. You could get an eyebrow cutter, or what's the other one? I think it's an eyelash cutter. It's just very sharp, small scissors basically, and it gives for like a more precise cut, so it's not as like jagged or whatever the case may be. And he cuts it straight, and then he cuts around for the little temple area, and then he cuts it straight down. But his frontals be melted, so I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I'm gonna figure this out, but I want to cut in that technique because it looks very neat and his results are always very nice. So it all is about trial and error, really, but it's all in a cutting technique, honestly. Number 5. So number 5 is properly bleaching and toning your knots. This method is so essential to a great install because number one, that's how you give scalp. If you have black knots, everybody's gonna see that that's not your hair. Like throughout that part and everything like that, people, it's gonna be so noticeable because it's nothing to blend. It doesn't look realistic, honestly. So I do have a video on how to properly bleach and tone your knots. If I had to recommend anything right now, I would say the bleach that I use what's the bleach that? Hold on, y'all, let me find my bleach. So I use the Quick Blue bleach. I love using that one because it's blue, so it cancels out some of the brassiness. But you also do have to go back in with like purple shampoo or something just to make sure and extra tone it so it can have like a flesh tone kind of look to it. If you don't tone your knots after you bleach, it's just going to be brassy. Although the blue does help tone it a little bit, you still have to go in with that purple shampoo or something and make sure that it's flesh tone. Some people just bleach it and use like whatever lace tint or whatever. It's not going to come out right. Like, you don't want it to be overly yellow, overly orange. You want it to be lifted up to that and toned down, just like when we used to bleach our black hair, which some of us still do. You bleach your black hair, but it looks so like honey blonde. Remember that honey blonde we used to like in like 10th grade, all in high school and stuff like that? My bad if you watching it in high school, but I'm like mad years out of high school already. So anyways, mad years ago we used to rock the honey blonde, and then after a while we started toning the honey blonde and it started looking real like Hollywoodish, like very, I'm rich. It's not honey, it's giving some type of rich blonde, I should say. Whatever, expensive, whatever. Another thing that I see that I'm not gonna lie, I hate it. I can't stand it. You have to have natural baby hairs. I'm tired of seeing the thick baby hairs that's either mad big or mad little, no plucking. You didn't try to make it go with the flow of the hair or the hairstyle, whatever the case may be. People would do a high pony and then just do boop, boop. Like, it just looks so unnatural, and I swear that can mess up your install completely. Baby hairs, if you're gonna do baby hairs, you really have to customize them and make them look as natural as possible. Even if you gotta tweeze them, because I had to tweeze my baby hairs a little bit too. Now, I told you in my last video, with my baby hairs right here, I cut them a little bit too short. So unless I go like this, it looks fine. Well, I didn't do them, I slept in it and everything, but unless I do this, it looks fine, but when I look up, it might look like a little bit of a shadow or something. So it is a trial and error kind of thing. But for the most part, yeah, my baby is messed up, y'all. Don't worry, I slept on it, but y'all saw the proof. It came out nice. But yeah, I see it so much. Like, and while I'm talking, I'm gonna make sure I add some pictures. I'm not trying to diss nobody, but I gotta show y'all the do's and don'ts. I gotta show y'all pictures. I gotta show y'all examples, because we trying to elevate out here. Like, we don't need, the boys already onto us. They already see what's a frontal, what's real, what's not. So we gotta really make sure they cannot tell, okay? So I'm gonna try to help y'all out a little bit with some pictures or whatever the case may be, and then we're gonna go from there. Another step that's essential to having a natural frontal is properly installing, sorry. With installing your wig, you want to make sure that you don't have too much glue exposed in the front. You don't want it lifting either to the point where you put the glue on, but now the lace is way too in front, so now this is lifting and everything like that. If you install your wigs but got to be, you know, sometimes it might wrinkle and just give up the whole illusion effect and everything like that. Installation is very, 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 very important. And even if sometimes when you install your wig or install your frontal or whatever the case may be, and you have glue exposed, after like 2 days, it's gonna start showing and it's gonna like have black residue and stuff like that, and that's when it's gonna be like, okay, I only had this stuff in for real quick, but you gotta think about it. You move, you lay your head down, you wear hats, scarves, whatever. It's gonna show and it's gonna look really bad. It's just gonna have a whole bunch of residue, and that's something that we really want to stay away from. Also, I just wanted to add this extra step into, you have to understand that sometimes you might need extra customization. You may install your wig just like kind of how I was saying before. You may install your wig and then you have a whole, you overplucked it or whatever the case may be. So now it's looking crazy. You have to know that sometimes you have to cut off the excess lace. Even if it's like a little piece sticking out, it makes a big difference when you complement the curve of the actual hairstyle or whatever you got going on over here. If you just cut like an extra piece off, if it just look like it's too much lace. If you really have a, like at least, I can't even explain it. But if you have, say, how can I explain this? Basically, if any of your lace first of all, it's supposed to be cut directly at the hairline. But that's what the plucking is for. Some people like, oh my god, why would I cut it directly at the hairline? It's gonna look mad thick, whatever. That's what the plucking and customizing is for. That's why that shouldn't happen if you properly customize it and pluck it and everything like that. You need to be cutting directly as close to the hair as possible without cutting yourself, depending on what you're cutting with. So that's very important as well. My next step, I didn't realize that it's tied into my last statement, but it was just basically saying, you know, cut off the extra lace if needed. That is actually very important because for the most part, it's like your lace starts here and we could see it. Like say your lace starts here and then you don't start the hair. Forget my baby hairs right here. Say the lace stops here and then the actual hairstyle starts back right here. It's gonna look crazy and we're gonna notice that. Like it may look like it's all skin, all scalp blended. No, we can see that actually. So make sure you cut that off. And the last step, I'm sorry y'all if I was all over the place, my words was all over the place, I'm sorry, but hopefully this helped y'all. Know when to take that wig off. Know when to get that frontal reinstalled or whatever the case may be. Please stop overwearing your frontals. Once the residue starts showing, the lace start lifting or whatever. Some people use a lot of sometimes people use a lot of edge control on their frontals and they just keep doing it. Oh, my baby is messed up. They keep going, they keep going. It's just going to be so residuey and so like, it just looks so gooey and oily and not natural at all. Like, please know to take that wig off. You gotta wash it. You gotta make it look brand new, just how you had it when you first put it on. I'm so tired of seeing people walking around with they frontal just look like it's stuck on, like baby hair just put anywhere. Like it just look like they're trying to cover something. Know when to take that wig off. Usually your wig install should last for about, depending on how you install it, for about a week or so. I don't wear my wigs for more than like 3 days, so I don't really have too much of an issue with that. But I'm just saying, for the most part, once you start seeing the residue, once the lace start lifting up, once your baby hair start looking all oily, it's time to take it off. So with that being said, those are my 10 tips on how to keep your frontal looking natural, clean, how to maintain it just a little bit. Once again, I might do that in another video. Other than that, if you have any tips for me, make sure you share them down below. I would love to see. I'm sure the other viewers will love it as well. Y'all, quick sidebar, because my camera had shut off and I had to go eat and I was watching something, whatever. I don't know what's going on today, but I'm like tripping on my words. Like the proper words is not coming to my mind. I don't know what's going on. But believe it or not, sometimes I still do get camera shy. Even though I'm in my bathroom by myself, nobody bothering me, nobody watching me. Sometimes I get like nervous when I speak publicly or know that, you know, something gonna be uploaded, or if I'm in front of class, gotta do something like a presentation or something, I start tripping over my words. I don't know, but anyways, I'm pretty sure y'all understand everything I'm saying. Thank you so much for tuning into this video. I hope you guys really enjoyed the video. Like, comment, subscribe to my new viewers. Thank you for viewing. I hope you're subscribed by now. I'm pretty sure you are. Yeah, as you should. But yeah, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, loves.